Okay, good afternoon, everybody. This is Flickalova 2000, and I figured I'd come back here and do a little update on the fan-made PBS airings of SpongeBob SquarePants. Now, I know you're thinking, Flickalova 2000, what is the major update for for that? Well, I recently found out and discovered that that Pat Pat Hart Squid from season 12 has recently aired in the United States on Optimum On Demand 8 days ago. And so that's why I'm giving you an update on that. So I'm gonna go through each season at a time, and then when each season is done, I'm gonna rank the PBS Kids logos and PBS Kids Go logos that are shown from most common to rarest. Okay, so I'm going to go through each season at a time, starting with season 1. So, without further ado, let's get started. Now, for the season 1 episodes, the earliest episodes of season 1 of SpongeBob SquarePants, the first 7 episodes of season 1, would use the PBS Kids P-Pals logo with the EI balloon, and then later season 1 episodes of SpongeBob SquarePants, beginning with episode 8, would use the 1999 PBS Kids logos, introducing the new mascots, Dot and Dash, with some episodes featuring one of the mascots, depending on what the episode is about. And in the very last episode of SpongeBob SquarePants would use a PBS Kids transformation logo from 2000. So, due to the fact that the last episode would use a transformation logo, let's look at the premiere and finale. The season 1 premiere was May 1st of 1999, and the season 1 finale was March 3rd of 2001. And that explains why the last episode would use a transformation logo. And, alright, so, without further ado, let's get started. Episodes 1A, 1B, and 1C, Help Wanted, Reflower, and Tea at the Tree Dome, would air in 1999 on PBS, just like it aired on Nickelodeon. And Help Wanted, Reflower, and Tea at the Tree Dome would be the very first episode, so obviously, Help Wanted, Reflower, and Tea at the Tree Dome would use the PBS Kids P-Pals logo with the EI balloon. Yeah, Help Wanted, Reflower, and Tea at the Tree Dome would use the PBS Kids P-Pals logo with the EI balloon. So yeah, the PBS Kids logo that is shown in Help Wanted, Reflower, and Tea at the Tree Dome is the P-Pals logo with the EI balloon. And now we're going to move on. Episode 2A and 2B, Bubble Stand and Ripped Pants. Bubble Stand and Ripped Pants would also air in 1999 on PBS, just like it did on Nickelodeon. And Bubble Stand and Ripped Pants would also use the PBS Kids P-Pals logo with the EI balloon. And then, yeah. Now we're going to move on. Episode 3A and 3B, Jellyfishing and Plankton, would also air on PBS in 1999. And Jellyfishing and Plankton would also use the PBS Kids P-Pals logo with the EI balloon. And next up, Episode 4A and 4B, Naughty Nautical Neighbors and Boating School would air on PBS in 1999, just like it did on Nickelodeon. And Naughty Nautical Neighbors and Boating School would also use the PBS Kids P-Pals logo with the EI balloon. Just like the previous 3 episodes, Naughty Nautical Neighbors and Boating School, which is the 4th one, would also use the PBS Kids P-Pals logo with the EI balloon. Okay. Episode 5A and 5B, Pizza Delivery and Home Sweet Pineapple, would air on PBS in 1999. And Pizza Delivery and Home Sweet Pineapple would also use the PBS Kids P-Pals logo with the EI balloon. Episode 6A and 6B, Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy and Pickles, would air on PBS in 1999. And Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy and Pickles would also use the PBS Kids P-Pals logo with the EI balloon. And Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy and Pickles, are the only... Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy and Pickles is the only SpongeBob episode in the Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy trilogy to use the PBS Kids P-Pals logo, as the other Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy episodes would use the PBS Kids Dot and Dash logos or the PBS Kids Go logos on there. So Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy is the only Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy episode to use the P-Pals logo on there. Of SpongeBob, that is. Alright, moving on. Episode 7A and 7B, Hall Monitor and Jellyfish Jam, would air on PBS in 1999. Now, Hall Monitor and Jellyfish Jam would be the last episodes to use the PBS Kids P-Pals logo with the EI balloon. And the PBS airing of Jellyfish Jam would cut out the scene of SpongeBob doing the jellyfish dance, and it would cut to nighttime directly after Squidward says, "How can you possibly have fun with a jellyfish?" And it cuts out SpongeBob's jellyfish dance compared to the Nickelodeon airings. Alright, Episode 8A and 8B, Sandy's Rocket and Squeaky Boots, would air on PBS in 1999. And Sandy's Rocket and Squeaky Boots would be the very first episodes of SpongeBob from Season 1 to use the 1999 PBS Kids logos with the 2 new mascots, Dot and Dash. And Sandy's Rocket and Squeaky Boots would use the 1999 PBS Kids logo with Dot, the girl, running up to the screen on there. Next up, Episode 9A and 9B, Nature Pants and Opposite Day, would air on PBS in 1999. And Nature Pants and Opposite Day ironically would use the opposite PBS Kids logo from 1999, which means while Sandy's Rocket and Squeaky Boots has the one with Dot the girl running up to the screen, it means that Nature Pants and Opposite Day would actually use the 1999 PBS Kids logo with Dash, the boy, thinking. Which is perfectly fitting because the Dash logo is the opposite of the Dot logo. Wouldn't you agree, Jeremy? So, Sandy's Rocket and Squeaky Boots would have the 1999 PBS Kids Dot logo, and Nature Pants and Opposite Day would use the 1999 PBS Kids Dash logo. Alright, episode 10A and 10B, Culture Shock and FUN, aka the one where they sing about the fun song, aka Fun, aired. Culture Shock and Fun would also air on PBS in 1999, just like it did on Nickelodeon. And Culture Shock and Fun would use the 1999 PBS Kids logo with Dash, the boy, thinking, just like Nature Pants and Opposite Day would. Well, I'm glad as well. And Culture Shock and Fun would also use the PBS Kids Dash logo, just like Nature Pants and Opposite Day. So, Culture Shock and Fun would use the 1999 PBS Kids Dash logo. Alright, moving on. Muscle Bob Buff Pants and Squidward the Unfriendly Ghost, episode 11A and 11B. Muscle Bob Buff Pants and Squidward the Unfriendly Ghost would also air on PBS in 1999. And Muscle Bob Buff Pants and Squidward the Unfriendly Ghost would use the 1999 PBS Kids logo with Dot, the girl, running up to the screen, just like Sandy's Rocket and Squeaky Boots would. So, Muscle Bob Buff Pants and Squidward the Unfriendly Ghost would use the 1999 PBS Kids logo with Dot the girl running up to the screen. Alright. The Chaperone and Employee of the Month would air on PBS in 2000. So, The Chaperone and Employee of the Month would air on PBS in 2000, so it would have the later Season 1 funding, with SpongeBob saying, SpongeBob SquarePants is funded in part by a grant from the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, through funds from the U.S. Department of Education, and by the annual financial support of PBS viewers like you. And The Chaperone and Employee of the Month would use the 1999 PBS Kids logo with Dot, the girl, running up to the screen. And The Chaperone and Employee of the Month are episode 12A and 12B, respectively. Next up, episode 13A and 13B, Scaredy Pants and I Was a Teenage Gary, would air on PBS in 1999, and Scaredy Pants and I Was a Teenage Gary would use the 1999 PBS Kids logo with Dot, the girl, running up to the screen. And Scaredy Pants and I Was a Teenage Gary would be the last episodes of SpongeBob from Season 1 to use the later Season 1 funding, to use the original Season 1 funding. Oh, yeah. I meant to say, for the Chaperone and Employee of the Month, SpongeBob would say, SpongeBob is funded in part by a grant from the Corporation for Public Broadcasting through funds from the U.S. Department of Education and by contributions to your PBS station from viewers like you. Thank you. But Scaredy Pants and I Was a Teenage Gary would be the last Season 1 episodes to use the original Season 1 funding, with SpongeBob saying, SpongeBob is funded in part by a grant from the Corporation for Public Broadcasting through funds from the U.S. Department of Education and by the annual financial support of PBS viewers like you. Thank you for correcting me on that. Thank you for correcting me on that, Jeremy. Alright, next up, episode 14A and 14B, SB129 and Karate Choppers would be the last episodes to air on SB129 and Karate Choppers would be the last episodes to air on PBS in 1999. SB129 and Karate Choppers would also be the very first episode of SpongeBob to use the later Season 1 funding, with SpongeBob saying, SpongeBob is funded in part by a grant from the Corporation for Public Broadcasting through funds from the U.S. Department of Education and by contributions to your PBS station from viewers like you. Thank you. And SB129 and Karate Choppers would use the 1999 PBS Kids logo with Dot, the girl, running up to the screen. Next up, SB129 and Karate Choppers would air on PBS in 2000. Sleepy Time and Suds would air on PBS in 2000, excuse me. Sleepy Time and Suds would be the very first episodes to use the Sleepy Time. So, Sleepy Time and Suds would be the very first episodes of SpongeBob to air in 2000. And Sleepy Time and Suds would have the 1999 PBS Kids logo with Dot, the girl, running up to the screen. Next up, Valentine's episode 16A and 16B, Valentine's Day and the Paper. Alright, episode 16A and 16B, Valentine's Day and the Paper, would air on PBS on Valentine's Day 2000, just like it did on Nickelodeon. And Valentine's Day and the Paper would use the 1999 PBS Kids logo with Dash, the boy, thinking. Oh, and I should tell you what company would distribute the SpongeBob SquarePants DVDs if PBS aired them. So, from 2000 to 2008, most Nickelodeon shows, when PBS would air them, would have Sony Wonder distribute them. I know Sony Wonder would distribute the Fairly Odd Parents and Jimmy Neutron DVDs when PBS airs them. But SpongeBob SquarePants would actually be an exception because... Oh yeah, Valentine's Day and the Paper not only came out before the Snow Globe logo existed, but Valentine's Day and the Paper came out before the Transformation logos even existed as well. So that's why the 1999 Dash logo is used on Valentine's Day and the Paper, Jeremy. No, and Jeremy Barton says, no, they used the regular Fishbowl and the Snow Globe logos. And actually, Jeremy, they used the regular Fishbowl logo a lot more often than they used the Snow Globe logo for seasons 2 and for season 3. Which is why the Fishbowl logo would be the most common one for season 3. And the Snow Globe logo would actually be the rarest. Alright, so Valentine's Day and the Paper would use the 1999 PBS Kids logo with Dash the Boy thinking. I'm glad you were able to have some free space on there, Wonder Kids, Yes Little People, Double Yes 2003. Alright, next up, episode 17A and 17B, Arg and Rock Bottom, would air on PBS in 2000, and Arg and Rock Bottom would use the 1999 PBS Kids logo with Dot the girl running up to the screen. Texas and Walking Small, episode 18A and 18B, Texas and Walking Small would air on PBS in 2000, and Texas and Walking Small would be the last episodes of season 1 to use the 1999 PBS Kids logo with Dot the girl running up to the screen. Sure, go ahead. Alright. Now, Texas and Walking Small would be the last episodes of SpongeBob from Season 1 to use the 1999 PBS Kids logo with Dot the Girl running up to the screen. It appears occasionally on Seasons 2 and 3, but Texas and Walking Small would be the last Season 1 episodes to use the 1999 PBS Kids Dot logo. Alright. Episode 19A and 19B, Fools in April and Neptune's Spatula. Fools in April and Neptune's Spatula would air on PBS in 2000, and the original airings of Fools in April and the original airing from April 14th of 2000 on PBS of Fools in April and Neptune's Spatula has something very surprising that happens. You know, back in that day, April 14th of 2000, they were supposed to air Dragon Tales in the time slot. When this episode accidentally aired, when this SpongeBob episode accidentally aired in place of Dragon Tales, and as a result, it had the 1997 Children's Television Workshop semicircle logo with the words "Play It Smart" on it. Okay, so the 1999 Dash logo has a close-up of Dash's eye. Dash the boy scratches his head and smiles. The circle would zoom out. The color background would be a vertical pink and white stripe background on the Dash logo. The Dot logo has Dot getting closer to the screen and pressing her fingers against it, smiling, and then the circle would zoom out, and the background would be a multicolor background with pink, yellow, and blue stripes. The Dash transformation logo would have Dash being a caveman first, then a scuba diver, then a robot. He would grab the letters PBS with magnetic robot-like claws on there. And then Dash's PBS Kids logo would be shown on a pale spring bud background with dark blue bubbles wobbling and shaking. The Dot transformation logo has Dot transforming into a tiger first, then to an octopus, then to an astronaut, and then Dot would float up in astronaut form. Yes, there is a shorter version of Dash transformation on Arthur the Big Riddle where it just starts with Dash in robot form. Anyway, and the Dot transformation logo would start with Dot in tiger form, then going into an octopus, or then turning into an octopus, then turning into an astronaut. And then Dot would float up slightly and go joy, like traveling to space. Oh, really? That's cool. And then Dot would float up into space. And then the circular PBS Kids logo would be shown. Dot's one would be shown in the Dot transformation logo on a dark blue background with a bunch of stars in the sky, with a beautiful starlight background. If there was a shorter version of the Dot transformation logo, again, it would just start with Dot in astronaut form. Believe it or not, I made a fan-made Arthur DVD with that short version of it called Arthur's Got Talent. Alright, the Fishbowl PBS Kids logo would have Dash looking into the fishbowl, of course. Then he would come close to the fishbowl, and he looks at a goldfish in the fishbowl, and then he comes close to it, and then he turns into an orange fish, and the background changes from lime green to a nice clear color, and then Dash would turn into an orange goldfish himself, and then he would get swallowed and eaten by Dot as a green fish. And then the bubbles would transition to Dot's circular PBS Kids logo being shown on a turquoise watery background with white bubbles floating upward. But Dash was shown most of the time in the fishbowl logo, and Doc's circular logo was shown for some reason, so Dash's would have fit more perfectly. And, yeah. And, of course, the PBS Kids fishbowl logo has also made a prototype, there has also been a prototype version of the PBS Kids fishbowl logo on Jakers, The Adventures of Piggly Winks. I saw the prototype fishbowl logo on Jakers, The Adventures of Piggly Winks myself. Now, the prototype version has the camera zooming out slightly, the plants looking a little different, the orange and the green fish are slightly off the screen, and the word kids is added at the bottom in the prototype version of the fishbowl logo. And then, of course, there's the PBS Kids Snow Globe logo with an icy background. Dash would ice skate in an ice rink, and then he would feel the ground shake, and then he would stop ice skating, and then the camera would zoom out to reveal that he is inside a snow globe with which Dot the girl holds. And then the snowflakes would transition, or the snow would transition to the PBS Kids logo with Dot on it being shown with a powdery blue winter-like background with snowflakes coming down. And there also existed a prototype version of the Snow Globe logo, which is a little bit different compared to the regular version. And the prototype version of the Snow Globe logo has the background looking a little bit darker, a darker blue or a purple background. And then the prototype version would have... Actually, my brother gave the PS4 to me because he has his own PS5 now. So, the prototype version of the Snow Globe logo would have, of course, the background would be a little bit darker in the prototype version. The trees would look a little different. The background of the ice skating rink is shaped a little bit differently. The animation's a little bit smoother. Yeah, my brother gave me this PS4 because my brother has my own... Well, my brother gave me the PS4 because he has his PS5. And, of course, the prototype Snow Globe logo would have the background being a little bit darker. The trees look different. The ice skating rink is shaped differently. The animation is a little bit smoother. The snowflakes are bigger and brighter. And Dot has fingers in the prototype version, which is interesting, and he looks down. She looks down, and then after looking down, it does not snow in the background when the camera zooms out in the prototype version compared to the regular version. And the word kids is added at the bottom. I did not see the prototype snow globe logo on Shakers, mostly because I only watched a few episodes. Have I seen more, I could have seen that. Yes, I do remember that, so... And, now we're gonna go back to where we left off with Fools in April and Neptune's Spatula. So, episode 19A and 19B, Fools in April and Neptune's Spatula. The original airing of Fools in April and Neptune's Spatula, which surprisingly used the 1997 CTW semicircle logo on there. This is because Dragon Tales was supposed to air at that time, but they accidentally aired a SpongeBob episode instead, called Fools in April and Neptune's Spatula. And that's why it was shown as a result. And yeah. And Fools in April and Neptune's Spatula would be the last season 1 episodes of SpongeBob to air in 2000, and the last episodes of SpongeBob to use the 1999 PBS Kids logo with Dash, the boy thinking. Alright, now we're going to move on to the last episode of Season 1. Episode 20A and 20B, Hooky and Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy 2. Now what's interesting is, compared to the other Season 1 episodes that either aired in 1999 or 2000, the last episode of Season 1, Hooky and Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy 2, actually would air on PBS in 2001. And because Hooky and Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy 2 would air on PBS in 2001, Hooky and Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy 2 would actually use a PBS Kids transformation logo from 2000 rather than one from 1999. Mostly because I heard it before, but now, due to the fact that Hooky and Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy 2 are the only Season 1 episodes to air on PBS in 2001, Hooky and Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy 2 would actually use a PBS Kids transformation logo from 2000 rather than a 1999 one. And the PBS Kids logo that would be shown on Hooky and Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy 2 would be the 2000 PBS Kids Dash transformation logo, which is actually perfectly fitting for the Dash transformation logo to have to be shown on Hooky. The PBS Kids Dash transformation logo would actually be perfectly fitting for the episode Hooky because the magnetic claws in the Dash transformation logo that Dash grabs kind of resembles the hooks that Mr. Krabs warned SpongeBob and Patrick about. Maybe. It depends on if I'm busy or not. So Hooky and Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy 2 would use the PBS Kids Dash transformation logo. Hold on a second, folks. Okay. Sorry about this, folks. I had to reply to a comment that someone read, so... on YouTube, so... Anyway, already did Season 1, and now it's time to rank the PBS Kids logo that is shown on Season 1 of SpongeBob from most common to rarest. So, for Season 1 of SpongeBob, the most common PBS Kids logo that is shown on Season 1 would be the 1999 PBS Kids logo with Dot, the girl, running up to the screen, as it appeared on 8 episodes of SpongeBob from Season 1. And then, the second common PBS Kids logo that is shown on Season 1 would be the PBS Kids P-Pals logo with the EI balloon, of course, as it appeared on the first 7 episodes of SpongeBob from May to September of 1999. And then the PBS Kids Dash logo was uncommon in Season 1, as it only appeared in 4 episodes of the series for Season 1, which include Nature Pants and Opposite Day, Culture Shock and Fun, Valentine's Day in the Paper, and Fools in April and Neptune's Spatula. And the rarest PBS Kids logo that is shown on Season 1 is, of course, the PBS Kids Dash transformation logo from 2000. And, all right. Now we're going into Season 2. Now, the Season 2 of SpongeBob would be October 26th of 2000, and Season 2 finale would be July 26th, 2003. So, now we're going into... So, Episode 21A and 21B. Your shoes and tie would air on PBS, and in 2001, Your Shoes Untied and Squid's Day Off would air on PBS in 2001. So, and Your Shoes Untied and Squid's Day Off would be the very first time the PBS Kids Dot transformation logo appears on SpongeBob in production order, or number order of what episode it is. Not in air date order, but in episode order. So, Your Shoes Untied and Squid's Day Off would have the PBS Kids Dot transformation logo on it. Alright, now we're going to move on to the next episode. Episode 22A and 22B, Something Smells and Bossy Boots. And the episode Something Smells and Bossy Boots would be the only Season 2 episodes to air on PBS in 2000. So, and Something Smells and Bossy Boots would... And Something Smells and Bossy Boots would... Something Smells and Bossy Boots would have the 1999 PBS Kids logo with Dot the Girl running up to the screen, but it would But on Something Smells and Bossy Boots, the PBS Kids dot logo would ironically use the Dash logo's audio for some reason. Jeremy, what do you think? For some reason, Something Smells and Bossy Boots would ironically use the Dash logo's audio playing in the dot logo. Okay, so Something Smells and Bossy Boots would have the 1999 PBS Kids logo with Dot the Girl running up to the screen with the Dash logo's audio. Okay, next up, Big Pink episode 23A and 23B, Big Pink Loser and Bubble Buddy would air on PBS in 2001. And Big Pink Loser and Bubble Buddy would use the PBS Kids Dash transformation logo. The reason why is because the PBS Kids Fishbowl logo did not exist yet at that time that episode came out. And the PBS Kids Dash transformation logo is actually perfectly fitting on Bubble Buddy because there are bubbles shown at the end of the Dash transformation logo. And SpongeBob hangs out with Bubble Buddy. Yes. Just like on the Season 1 Clifford the Big Red Dog episode, which also had the Dash logo's audio playing in the dot logo. And I forgot to tell you, the earlier Season 2 episodes would use the Ready to Learn plug with the Corporation for Public Broadcasting Circle logo, and in the later episodes, beginning in September 2001, would have the Square logo. And the Chuck E. Cheese's commercials I forgot to tell you were, for Season 1, were the earliest Season 1 episodes from May to October of 1999 would have the Chuck E. Cheese's chalkboard commercial, and then the later episodes, beginning in December of 1999, from Season 1, and most of the Season 2 episodes, the later Season 1 episodes, and most Season 2 episodes, would use the Chuck E. Cheese's Share the Fun and Grow commercial on there. So, Big Pink Loser and Bubble Buddy would have the PBS Kids Dash transformation logo. Alright, next up, episode 24A and 24B, Dying for Pie and Imitation Crabs. Of course, Dying for Pie and Imitation Crabs would air on PBS in 2001. Actually, Something Smells and Bossy Boots would actually be one of 2 Season 2 episodes to air in 2000. Alright. Dying for Pie and Imitation Crabs would air on PBS in 2001. And Dying for Pie and Imitation Crabs would have PBS Kids dot transformation logo on it. Next up, Wormy and Patty Hype, which are episode 25A and 25B. Wormy and Patty Hype would air on PBS in 2001, and Wormy and Patty Hype would use the PBS Kids dot transformation logo as well. Grandma's Kisses and Squidville, which are episodes 26A and 26B. Grandma's Kisses and Squidville would air on PBS in 2001. And Grandma's Kisses and Squidville would would use the PBS Kids dot transformation logo as well. And there is an added scene on PBS airings of Squidville. You want to know what that is, Jeremy? Hold on 1 second. I just gotta do something real quick. So anyway, there is an added scene on PBS airings of Squidville where after Patrick goes, "I hate this channel," and then Squidward goes, "No, no!" Squidward's TV would change the channel to Elmo's World being shown, with a brief footage of the dancing episode being shown, where Elmo goes, "Mr. Noodle can dance, Elmo can dance, you can dance, even elephants can dance. Elmo knows what can dance and what can't dance. Elmo will show you." And then after that part, Squidward would go, "No, no," again, and then change back to what he usually was watching before Patrick would change it to Elmo's World. So, the input, I'm going to change the input on this thing real quick so I could, like, okay. Here we go. Okay, we're going to move on. Episode 27A and 27B, Pre-Hibernation Week and Life of Crime, would air on PBS in 2001, and Pre-Hibernation Week and Life of Crime would use the PBS Kids dot transformation logo. Alright, next up, episode 28, Christmas Who, would air on PBS in 2000, and Christmas Who would be the only episode of SpongeBob to air in 2000 to use the PBS Kids dot transformation logo. Now, Christmas Who has a lot of snow in that episode, but it aired on PBS in December 2000. So and the PBS Kids Snow Globe logo did not even exist yet at that time. So because the PBS Kids Snow Globe logo did not exist when Christmas Who aired, the PBS Kids logo that would be shown on Christmas Who, the PBS Kids logo that is shown on Christmas Who is actually the PBS Kids dot transformation logo. So, the PBS Kids logo that is shown on Christmas Who, due to the fact the Snow Globe logo did not exist yet, would be the PBS Kids dot transformation logo. And Christmas Who would be the only SpongeBob episode to air in 2000 to use the dot transformation logo. And the only episode of 2000 to use a transformation logo overall, since the transformation logos existed in September 2000, when Clifford premiered. And the dot transformation logo is somewhat fitting because there's a starlight background, and there's a star and a Christmas tree. What do you think, Jeremy? Alright, next up, episode 29A and 29B, Survival of the Idiots and Dumped. So, Survival of the Idiots and Dumped would air on PBS in 2001. And like before, Survival of the Idiots has lots of snow in that episode. And like before, Survival of the Idiots has lots of snow in that episode, but that episode aired in May 2001. And Survival of the Idiots and Dumped would use the 1999 PBS Kids logo with Dot, the girl, running up to the screen. But unlike Something Smells and Bossy Boots, which had the Dot logo with the Dash logo's audio, Survival of the Idiots and Dumped, on the other hand, would have the 1999 PBS Kids Dot logo with the right audio on it, with the correct Dot logo's audio. So, Survival of the Idiots and Dumped would use the Dot logo with the correct audio on it. Next up, episode 30A and 30B, No Free Rides and I'm Your Biggest Fanatic, would air on PBS in 2001. So, No Free Rides and I'm Your Biggest Fanatic would use the PBS Kids Dot transformation logo. And next up, episode 31A and 31B, Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy Free and Squirrel Jokes, aired in September 2001 on PBS, which means Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy Free would use the later Season 2 funding with the Square Corporation for Public Broadcasting logo. And Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy Free and Squirrel Jokes would use the PBS Kids Dot transformation logo as well. Alright, next up. Episode 32A and 32B, Pressure and the Smoking Peanut, would air on PBS in May of 2001. And Pressure and the Smoking Peanut would be the last episodes to use the earlier Season 2 funding with the Circle Corporation for Public Broadcasting logo. And Pressure and the Smoking Peanut would have the PBS Kids Dot transformation logo. Alright, next up is pretty interesting. Episode 33A and 33B. Shanghai aired in 2001, but Shanghai aired on Nickelodeon in 2001, but Gary Takes a Bath aired on Nickelodeon in 2003. And Shanghai and Gary Takes a Bath would both air on PBS in 2003 for the first time, so because Shanghai and Gary Takes a Bath did not air on PBS until 2003, it's got a 2002 PBS Kids logo animated at primal screen. And Shanghai and Gary Takes a Bath would use the PBS Kids Fishbowl logo from 2002, which is perfectly fitting because it requires water to take a bath, and fish live in water. Yeah. This is one of 2 Season 2 episodes to use the PBS Kids Fishbowl logo, but the PBS Kids Fishbowl logo would appear on a lot more episodes from Season 3. It appears more commonly on Season 3 than it does on Season 2. And the PBS airings of Shanghai would have all 3 endings on there, on all airings. The PBS airings would have Squidward's ending, Patrick's ending, and SpongeBob's ending all together on all airings of Shanghai on PBS. Alright. Here we go, on to the next one. Episode 34A and 34B, Welcome to the Chum Bucket and Frankendoodle, aired on PBS in 2002, in January 2002. And they aired on the same day Cyber Chase premiered on PBS. And when Cyber Chase premiered on PBS, they introduced 2 new PBS Kids logos in January 2002 when Cyber Chase premiered on PBS. 2 new PBS Back in January 2002, two new PBS Kids logos were introduced at Primal's screen. One of them involved Dash looking into the fishbowl, coming close to the fishbowl, and then turning into an orange fish, getting eaten by Dot. And then the other PBS Kids logo that was animated at Primal's screen at that time was the one with Dash ice skating, feeling the ground shake, and then the camera would zoom out to reveal him inside a snow globe, which Dot the girl holds. And Welcome to the Chum Bucket and Frankendoodle would actually be the very first episodes of SpongeBob to use a 2002 PBS Kids logo animated at Primal's screen, and Welcome to the Chum Bucket and Frankendoodle would use the PBS Kids Fishbowl logo from 2002 on there. Next up, The Secret Box, episode 35A and 35B, The Secret Box and Band Geeks. The Secret Box and Band Geeks would air on PBS in September 2001, and The Secret Box and Band Geeks would have the PBS Kids Dot transformation logo, and The Secret Box and Band Geeks would be the very first episodes of SpongeBob to use the later Season 2 funding with the Square Corporation for Public Broadcasting logo. Okay. Next up, episode 36A and 36B, Graveyard Shift and Krusty Love, are two other Season 2 episodes. Graveyard Shift and Krusty Love are more episodes. So, Graveyard Shift and Krusty Love is another Season 2 episode that aired in 2002 on PBS. This time it would air on PBS in September 2002. And Graveyard Shift and Krusty Love would actually use the PBS Kids Snow Globe logo on there, which is perfectly fitting because it can sometimes snow on Valentine's Day, and Krusty Love takes place on Valentine's Day, and it aired in 2002. What do you think, Jeremy? What do you think of the Fishbowl logo appearing on Gary Takes a Bath, Jeremy, and the Snow Globe logo appearing on Krusty Love? Oh, and both Shanghai and Gary Takes a Bath and Graveyard Shift and Krusty Love would use the Chuck E. Cheese's exercise commercial that does not contain the URL. And Welcome to the Chum Bucket and Frankendoodle would use the Chuck E. Cheese's laughing commercial without Cool Chuck on it, which is the Clifford the Big Red Dog version of the Chuck E. Cheese's laughing commercial. Alright, next up. Episode 37A and 37B, Procrastination and I'm With Stupid, aired on PBS in October 2001. So, episodes of Season 2 from October 2000 to October 2001 would have the Chuck E. Cheese's Share the Fun and Grow commercial on there. So, just so you know. Procrastination and I'm With Stupid would air on PBS in October 2001, and Procrastination and I'm With Stupid would use the PBS Kids Dash transformation logo. Procrastination and I'm With Stupid are another Season 2 episode to use the PBS Kids Dash transformation logo after Big Pink Loser and Bubble Buddy. Procrastination and I'm With Stupid would have the PBS Kids Dash transformation logo. which is somewhat perfectly fitting because Patrick Star is colored pink. He's a pink starfish, and Dash is a pink caveman at the beginning. What do you think, Jeremy? All right, next up. Artist episode 38A and 38B, Sailor Mouth and Artist Unknown, would air on PBS in September 2001, and Sailor Mouth and Artist Unknown would have the PBS Kids dot transformation logo. All right. Next up, Jellyfish Hunter, episode 39A and 39B, Jellyfish Hunter and the Fry Cook Games, would air on PBS in September 2001. And Jellyfish Hunter and the Fry Cook Games would use the 1999 PBS Kids logo with Dash the boy thinking. And it does use the correct audio in the Dash logo. And Jellyfish Hunter and the Fry Cook Games would be the only Season 2 episodes of SpongeBob to use the 1999 PBS Kids Dash logo. Next up, the last episode of Season 2, episode 40A and 40B, Squid on Strike and Sandy, SpongeBob and the Worm, would air on PBS in October 2001. And Squid on Strike and Sandy, SpongeBob and the Worm would be the last Season 2 episodes to air, and Squid on Strike and Sandy, SpongeBob and the Worm would have the PBS Kids dot transformation logo. Or the last Season 2 episodes produced. Squid on Strike and Sandy, SpongeBob and the Worm would be the last Season 2 episodes produced, and Squid on Strike and Sandy, SpongeBob and the Worm would have the PBS Kids dot transformation logo. All right. Now we're going to rank the PBS Kids logos from Season 2 that are from most common to rarest. Now, for Season 2, the most common PBS Kids logo would be the dot transformation one, because Squidward is an octopus, and dot transforms into an octopus in the second part of the dot transformation logo. What do you think of the dot transformation logo being the most common for Season 2? Because Squidward's an octopus and dot transforms into one in the second part of it. All right, so for Season 2 of SpongeBob, the PBS Kids dot transformation logo would be the most common. And then the PBS Kids logos that would be very uncommon in Season 2, the PBS Kids logos that would be very uncommon in Season 2 would be the PBS Kids Dash transformation logo, which only appeared on the episodes Big Pink Loser and Bubble Buddy and Procrastination and I'm with Stupid. The PBS Kids dot logo from 1999, which only appeared on Something Smells and Bossy Boots and Survival of the Idiots and Dumped. But Something Smells and Bossy Boots would have the Dash logo's audio playing in the dot logo, while Survival of the Idiots and Dumped would have the correct dot logo's audio in the dot logo. And yeah. And then the PBS Kids Fishbowl logo, which only appeared on 2 episodes of Season 2, which are Shanghai and Gary Takes a Bath, and Welcome to the Chum Bucket and Frankendoodle. And in the rarest PBS Kids logos that are shown on Season 2 is, of course, the 1999 PBS Kids Dash logo, which only appeared on Jellyfish Hunter and the Fry Cook games, and the PBS Kids Snow Globe logo, which was only seen on Graveyard Shift in the Krusty Love episode for Season 2. So, and the PBS Kids Snow Globe logo, of course, the PBS Kids Snow Globe logo, which... If you don't mind, I'm going to be joining a live stream with Jordan B03 soon, so I'll do this video one more time after it's over, so I will see you guys later. Jordan B03 told me about this, and I'm going to join in.